Spirit 1053, hello.
Erica, hey, this is Mike Nawrocki. How are you?
I am so excited to be talking with you. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it is such an honor. I feel like you're part of my family because, let's just face it, you have been. And I'm excited to talk about vegetables and rodents with you today.
Yes, veggies and rodents. Two great tastes that taste great together.
That's awesome. You know, it's funny. I have to tell you, my husband and I, before we got married, we would watch VeggieTales together as entertainment.
Nice. Without kids.
Without kids.
That's high praise. That is high praise right there. Thank you so much.
Seriously. And then we had kids, and both of them still love VeggieTales. We still quote things like, you can use them as a footstool or a table to play Scrabble on and tie them up and beat them up and throw them out of Babylon. Like stuff like that sticks in my head. And I so appreciate you. But I want to tell you a quick story before we get rolling here. And that is we almost lost my son, Josh. He had ulcerative colitis, and they had to take his large intestine when he was 17, Mike. And do you know what song God put on my heart at a hotel across the street from Duke University Hospital? It was "The Battle Is Not Ours" from Queen Esther.
Oh, from Esther. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that gives me chills. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So your work means a lot to our family, Mike.
Oh, my goodness. Erica, thank you so much. And Josh is doing okay now?
He is thriving. Praise Jesus. Yeah, it's a miracle.
Oh,
no
yes.
colon still rolling, we like to say.
Right.
Oh.
It looks good on a T-shirt.
I should do that for him. Seriously, he would love it. You know, Mike, I got to talk about vegetables and rodents because really it all ties back to the power of telling a good story. How did you learn how to do that?
Well, you know, I was kind of a theater kid growing up. I loved being in plays, writing short stories. Music, kind of writing lyrics. So it was something that just was fun for me, and it kind of came naturally to some extent. But then, I got more into performing. Phil Vischer and I met doing puppetry at a small college up in Minnesota, writing our own skits, kind of performing, seeing how audiences reacted. And then, when we started making VeggieTales in the early 90s, they were kind of short skits. Each of them was short skits. But as the stories became longer, stories kind of, I've learned this since, but story is kind of like architecture. You kind of, the longer the story gets, the more kind of you have to know about structure and holding it all up. And so I started to take screenwriting classes and, figuring out, how to tell a longer story that engaged an audience longer. But it's just been a process. I just love storytelling. I love, engaging an audience emotionally in a story. And I love kind of entertaining people without being seen. So was the draw for me for both puppetry and animation.
I understand that being in radio, for
yes,
sure.
Exactly.
So how did you guys come up with a tomato and a cucumber? I can't believe I'm talking to Larry the Cucumber right now. Like, how did that work?
Yes, you are, Erica. Larry the Cucumber here. So it was...
Wow.
It was all necessity was the mother of invention because computer animation at the time was really simple, just coming out. This was the first episode of VeggieTales predated Toy Story, which was the first computer animated feature film. We needed really simple characters on the budget that we had, really simple characters, which meant they couldn't have limbs, they couldn't have hair, and they couldn't have clothes. So, because all of those things were really difficult. And so vegetables, actually, Phil modeled a candy bar originally, and then his wife Lisa walked by and she said, Phil, I don't think moms are going to appreciate biblical values coming from candy bars. It just doesn't sound healthy. So vegetables were a good second choice. So
amazing. And I love how you created vegetable villains. Did you just decide, you're a rapscallion, so we're going to make you a villain? I mean, how does all that work? You must have so much fun.
Oh, yeah, it was a blast. I mean, just, we sort of assembled this ensemble cast of vegetables over the years, and it was just so much fun to put them in different roles. It's like, okay, Larry's in the Old West now, and now, he's in space, and, and just so you grow to love the characters, but, placing them in different environments and all these little, almost like miniature movies, was just a really fun thing to do.
Wow. What does it mean to you to know that you have illustrated what Jesus is really like for so many kids and grown-ups? The God who loves us and made us special.
Oh my goodness. Well, so back when we got started in VeggieTales, and now with Dead Sea Squirrels, story has so much impact on kids' lives, and we wanted to reflect that worldview in the stories that we told and that I continue to tell, and that worldview that there's a God who made us, who loves us, who wants a relationship with us,
Yeah.
and I think if kids can grow up with stories around that worldview and incorporate that and learn those lessons, I think they carry those with them for the rest of their lives. And I hear so much, I teach college now in Nashville, and I hear so much, so many of my students grew up on VeggieTales, and just hearing the impact that that's had on their lives has just been really, really humbling and really exciting to know that, that's made a difference in their lives.
Wow. From Bob and Larry to Merle and Pearl, who are the Dead Sea Squirrels, Mike?
Merle and Pearl. Merle and Pearl are an old Jewish couple who grew up in the 1st century Galilee. Merle had the bright idea to take a river raft ride down the Jordan River to visit the Dead Sea, which he had heard you can't sink, so he's always wanted to swim there. So they take a little vacation there, spend a lovely day in the sun, but it's really hot and really salty. They take shelter in a cave to get some relief from the sun, and they get lost. And with the dryness of the air and the saltiness, they're preserved for 2,000 years in this cave until a 10-year-old boy, Michael, who's on an archaeological dig with his dad in the area, finds them. Michael thinks they're super cool vacation, souvenirs, and he sticks them in his backpack and smuggles them back home with him to Tennessee, sets them up on his windowsill so they don't stink up his room. That night it rains, and they rehydrate, desalinate, and reanimate, and so now they're alive in the 21st century.
Oh, my word.
So that's sort of it in a nutshell. And they've witnessed the life of Jesus and the disciples, and so whenever issues come up with Michael and his friends, at school or whatever, they're able to answer those questions with the story from the 1st century.
Fantastic. Why squirrels? Why did you choose those guys?
It was all a bad pun. It all started as a bad pun.
Come on.
So it's sort of Encino Man meets the Dead Sea Squirrels, which is how I envisioned this series. And then it wasn't too far, of a jump to go to squirrels from there. So just characters, that are kind of, similar to the Dead Sea Scrolls that could bring this ancient wisdom to the modern era. And squirrels are native to Galilee. It's so great. I did a bunch of research. So you can find, they're Persian squirrels, also known as Caucasian squirrels, that are native to Galilee. So it's all, scientifically proven.
Wow.
The thing that, is a stretch is that they speak English.
Wow. Mike, what part do you play in the Dead Sea Squirrels?
I am Merle Squirrel.
Yes, I was hoping that.
Yes, I'm Merle, and Pearl is voiced by Nashville actress Jenny Littleton, and she's fantastic. So we are just so excited to launch the Squirrels into the wild. They're out there now streaming on Minnow.
I'm so excited to watch the Squirrels in the Wild. You've got Bible teacher Beth Moore in this, Bart Millard from Mercy Me, Duncan the drummer from the Newsboys.
Yes.
What is that all like for you? How exciting.
Oh, it's so great. Duncan is so fantastic. Of course, he's Australian, and so he plays Dave the Lizard, and he's just a hilarious character. He comes up later in the 1st season. And Beth Moore plays Mary Squirrel. She's in a couple of episodes, and one of the Tennessee squirrels that Larry meets. Every episode has a song in it. Music is a really important part of the series. Yeah. So we flash back to 1st century, and it's all told in music. And so Matthew West is our singing Jesus. Bart Millard actually does Pontius Pilate, so he gets to play the bad guy. Mac Powell is John the Baptist. So we've brought in these artists who just are fantastic vocalists and just have such a great heart for kids. It's just been such a pleasure to work on this project with all the talent that we have.
Well, yeah, music was critical for VeggieTales too. I'm still singing "Where Is My Hairbrush" and songs about my belly button. Right. I could sing any one of them, but I won't because I like you, Mike. I'm not going to do that to you. I appreciate you. But I have to ask you, would you mind doing a little liner as Larry Boy for our morning show?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind at all. Absolutely.
Hello, this is Larry the Cucumber, and you're listening to Mornings with Erica on Spirit 105.3.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I'm going to be able to wipe the smile off my face for the rest of the day. You are such a delight. Mike, I'm so excited to share the Dead Sea Squirrels with our listening family. Thank you for your valuable time and for what you do for the kingdom of God. It's just a joy to hang out with you.
Erica, thank you so much. God bless you, and thanks again for having me on.